Hello there. All right, so let's get on with our app. Now, we tidied up our login a little bit, and I think for now it's good enough to get us in. So now let's design a little bit what happens once we get in. And for that, we're going to need some kind of high-level app layout. So let's add an artboard. We were using this one as our standard 13 and 14 iPhone 390 by 844, which is a pretty decent standard size. I think 360 by 800 is a very common pattern, but we're going to go with the 1314. Being designers, I guess most of us have got an iPhone, but that's an assumption. Let's just call this app layout. Now we're going to call it app layout because we're going to make this into a component, and as such I'm going to preemptively add my brackets, which is my personal convention, not really common convention, but I use this one. So what we're going to need here is this will be the standard layout and format for all of our app screens. So I am going to make it into a component, so then I can easily use this component. And the beauty of this is that when I update, if I update the app layout, all of the pages or the app pages that use this component will be updated too. Now, of course, the same disclaimer: with great power comes with great responsibility. So if you do need to update your app layout, be careful what you update, because the instances of that app layout will be updated, and you can cause as much damage as you can cause good. So be very careful with the power of design systems. Okay, so let's jump in here, and in our app layout what we're going to do is we're going to add a top bar, which is a very typical. We're just going to start basic and we'll keep adding up as we go along, right? So of course, let's say we're going to need an app icon, which we've already built. So if I search for that, we should find it. There we go. Now I haven't followed my favorite convention here. I will have to update that, so maybe I'll do that right now. Here it is. Here's the and there we go. That to me, and I'm not saying anybody has to do this, but means it's ready to go, ready to be used. So now it's got its little brackets, just personal convention. So we're going to create here a little app bar. So this one is 40 by 40, which is a decent size. I think we're at 100%. Yes. Here's an app icon. Now on the other side, we're probably going to want an account icon, so that when we log in, we want the minimum we're going to need is, at least I would assume, our logo and some kind of account mechanism to be able to log out. That's very minimum. So we're going to need a icon button here. Now we have a button, right? So let's insert our button component created in this file. I'll do it from the menu, but you can use Shift I as well to get to the quick access library. Here we got our button. Let's just insert instance of the button. And what we're going to do here is we're going to zoom in and we're going to show the icon, but we're going to hide the text because we really only want a button. Now, this is not, this is kind of a shortcut. A lot of libraries have an actual icon button component. But this is fine. We can easily swap this out later. This one is size 32, which is okay, depending on which guidelines you prefer to follow. And we're going to change the icon inside, of course. Let's drill down, change that for some kind of account. Let's see what we've got under account. Circle user. I'm not really sure which one I like. Let's use this one. I'm not sure if I love it, to be honest, but let's just do that for now. So let's assume we're creating an app bar. This is going to have to be one component. So I'm going to Shift A to put those into one component. I'm going to rename it to, let's call it app bar for now. Now let's add. Now we've added auto layout. We need to make sure it's aligned center, and we have it distributed here, which is fine for now. Till we add more things, we'll see how that works for us. No padding right now. we're probably going to add that. So this is going to be a component too. And the reason we use components is that we can then switch them out. So if we have a different type of app bar, whatever that might look like, for now we'll get there later, we can swap them out. So it's always best to create components just for flexibility more than anything else. So now we have two instances. AppLayout here. This is just going to be the whole layout, and this is going to be our app bar. So if I drag an instance out of that by holding option, I should be able to place it into my app layout. Let's go to the files, and you see now I have the app bar. Now it should be 0, 0, of course, right? And it doesn't fit, so we're going to have to stretch it across. Now this doesn't work because we don't have auto layout. Switch on auto layout. At the moment it's top right. Probably don't need a gap, so let's just remove that for now. We can always add it later. Just remember, with design systems, as long as you build it correctly, you can always update things at any time and you won't damage or cause any extra work. So let's go back over here. Now we've got fill, and now it fills, and that's perfect. Now it touches the sides, which is not what we want, so this is where we go back to our app bar component and we add our spacing token. Let's try medium. Again, as long as you've got this level of control with the design system, you're using your tokens, you're using components, you really can't cause major damage, and that's the beauty of it, right? We can always go back and fix things and it will propagate through, as long as you build it the correct way. Save yourself a lot of work. This is all about scaling design, right? So you want to use as much of that architecture as possible. Okay, so now we've got two items here. Now where have we put them? On our app layout, which is okay, but this shouldn't be on app layout. App layout should go on app layout, but we need a new layer for this. So let's cut that out. So let's create a new page and paste that back. Now we have our app bar in its own page, which is right. Okay, so now what we have is our app layout. Okay, so this is when we're logged in, and we'll take a copy of that with Command C. If we go to our prototype and zoom out a little bit, let's paste it in, and this is what's going to be happen when we log in. So let's wrap this in a frame so we can prototype with it. This one is going to be the home page, or let's call it the home page for now. So here previously we had our login and our sign up, and now what we can actually do is prototype. If we go to the prototype tab, yeah, we can now drag to log in to our app, and then we're going to build a logout in the next video. But for now, seeing as I want to keep these below 10 minutes, we should be good to go. So let's test it. We might need to add some flavor to the prototype. Something's slightly wrong. Let me start again here. Drill into the login button. Let's add the interaction on tap. That's what we want. On tap goes to the home page. On tap, navigate to home. Let's do dissolve, just to make it fade for now, and we'll go into these in detail later on in other videos specialized on animations as part of the design system. But for now, let's just use dissolve, and we should be good to go. Let's test it with our little prototype button here. So here we are with our little simulator. It's loading. Does sometimes take a while. Let's assume we filled this in correctly. We log in, and now we're into our app. Now we can't log out, and there's a few other things missing, like the top bar and so on, and we're going to have to fix those as we go forward. So for now we can log in, and now we're going to build the user menu and fix this so that we can log out again. Okay, see you in the next video.